आपका धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू। श्री अनंत कुमार।
डिप्टी स्पीकर सर,
मेरी एक निवेदन है, ये फैसला हुआ है कि 10 मिनट से ज्यादा कोई ऑनरेबल मेंबर पार्लियामेंट ना बोले। प्लीज कोऑपरेट विद। यस प्लीज स्टार्ट।
Deputy Speaker sir, the discussion is about the percolation of the democracy to the grassroots. Actually, when my senior colleagues, they spoke, all of them were allowed for more than 20-25 minutes. And I, being a Lok Sabha member for the first time and a backbencher, I expect in this commemorative session at least the democracy should percolate to the backbenches also. At the outset, I congratulate both Honorable Speaker and the Deputy Speaker for convening this special session to mark the Indian independence. But before proceeding with my speech, sir, I want to bring 2-3 important things to your notice. A document has been circulated, 50 years of Indian parliamentary democracy. In the first page of the same thing, as already both my senior colleagues, George Fernandes ji and Chitta Basu ji have pointed out, India achieved independence from foreign rule after a non-violent struggle, hitherto unparalleled in the annals of the world history. Only this much has been written. There is no mention of armed struggle. If there is no mention of armed struggle in such a document, when we are commemorating our 50th year of Indian independence, when we do not remember Chhatrapati Shivaji, who started Hindvi Swaraj agitation, Rana Pratap, Sardar Bhagat Singh, Jhansi Rani Lakshmibai, Kittur Rani Channamma, Alluri Sitaram Raju, Veerapandya Kattabomman. That means we are leaving the entire galaxy of fighters, the freedom fighters who fought a armed struggle for Indian independence. Therefore, I request the Honorable Deputy Speaker to correct this distortion in this basic document. And secondly, as my senior colleague Fernandes ji has already pointed out, this parliament in last 47 years has taken 2 unanimous resolutions. One resolution in 1962 October, just after Chinese invasion, to retrieve every inch of lost land from Indian territory. And the second resolution in 1995, proclaiming loud and clear that Pak occupied Kashmir is an indivisible part of India, Hindustan, Bharat. These are the 2 unanimous resolutions this parliament has taken in last 47 years. Sir, I feel that during this commemorative session, during this special session, it becomes the duty of this parliament to reiterate these 2 unanimous resolutions once again and pledge that we retain our lost territories and we maintain our integrity also. Sir, the country is lingering about viability of this democracy. Whether this democracy is okay for us. There is an amount of despondency among the people. People feel that the democracy is not functioning. I remember when our senior leader Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji visited Mangalore in a huge public meeting, one of the audience, he got up and said, "Sir, democracy has failed." Then Atalji rightly said, he said that same thing in this house also. My dear friend, democracy has not failed. We are failing the democracy. This is what the entire country is feeling. Democracy is not new to our country. It is inherited by our country right from Vedas. 3 proclamations Vedas have made. Ano Badra Kratvo Yantu Vishwataha. Let noble thoughts come to us from all the corners of the world. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. That means not happiness of the majority people, but happiness of everyone. And Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That means again, world as a family. We never thought of a small concept of global village. We went further. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, world as a entire universe as a family. And even during the period of Mahavir, Buddha, Ashoka, and Lord Basaveshwara from Karnataka, we had Anubhav Mantapa, a first kind of parliamentary democracy about 800 years back. Democracy has been a hallmark of Indian culture. Even during autocracy later, under many Maharajas, consultation was there. But because of the invasion of Mughals, invasion of foreign aggressors, and later because of the British foreign rule, this democratic fiber, this democratic spirit got suppressed in our country. Again, this document, in his speech, Honorable Speaker has said, we had 2 wars of Indian independence. Sir, I humbly submit to disagree with this. I feel we are on to 3rd war of Indian independence. First war was between 1857 to 1947. Second war was between 1975 to 1977 against dark days of emergency to blemish the democratic fiber of this country. And now again we are on the path of the 3rd struggle of democracy. Therefore, I feel this is the 3rd war of democracy. The 3 links of the democracy, the parliament, party and the people. In last 50 years, sir, our democracy, especially which is run on the pedestal of the party system, is losing its sanctity because parties are losing internal democracies. Parties are being run by vested interests. Few people, a coterie, an individual. The world over is amazed that Election Commission and Supreme Court had to intervene to restore internal democracy in some of the parties in our country, to hold elections, to make them accountable. The hereditary rule is still on its rampage. Today morning we heard the speech of our Congress leader and the MP, Shri Madhavrao Scindia. He went on taking the names of Jawaharlal Nehru ji, Indira ji, Rajiv ji, but somehow I am surprised he missed Sardar Patel's name. He missed Lal Bahadur Shastri ji's names also. He did not mention it. That means the major party which ruled the country for 42 years, they claim that they governed for 42 years, they are deeply enmeshed in the hereditary rule. And criminalization, Election Commission has made its observation. And regarding corruption, Honorable Prime Minister from the ramparts of Red Fort has said that Satyagraha should be started. I want to ask Honorable Prime Minister that whether the Satyagraha should be started in PMO's office, because as Atalji has said, 149 cases CBI is putting forth to PMO office to get a clearance to proceed. But why he is withholding? Why he is not leading the Satyagraha, giving sanction to proceed with those 149 cases? Whether by the end of this 4-day special session, our Honorable Prime Minister, as a torchbearer of this Satyagraha against corruption, will come out with a statement that he is giving green signal to proceed for CBI to proceed with all the 149 cases by PMO's office. I want to ask him this question. If he takes that step, then I agree that he is a satyagrahi and he really wants to do a satyagraha against corruption. Sir, there are few things that require national consensus, not a contrived consensus, but a natural consensus regarding development. We require an alternative model of governance. We require an alternative model of development. This model of governance and this model of development has failed to deliver the goods. Therefore, there is a need for change. Sir, don't you think that it is high time that after 50 years of independence, whether we should not go for a commission to have a fresh look at our constitution, to make suitable changes and amendments, so that we can change the pattern of the government, we can change the model of the government? Don't you think that there is a need that the country should even probe whether we require presidential form of government to stop all this horse trading? Because the country is totally suffering from three great menaces. One is casteism, linguistic chauvinism, and regionalism. If the entire polity has to surmount all these three menaces and remain as one entity, as one country, there is need for a change in the model of the government. Therefore, I feel a commission should be appointed to have a fresh look into the constitution so that we will have an alternative model of government, sir. Secondly, many suggestions may flow because so many veterans are here, elders are here, who have been in the parliament for last 30 years, 25 years, who have been ministers and whatnot. They are all here. They all will be giving many suggestions. They will be making many relevant and valid points. But whether all these things will end up as a talking show or what? Whether we will enlist all these suggestions. Therefore, I urge you, sir, through you, the Honorable Speaker also, that a special session should be convened before the end of the Swarna Jayanti celebrations. That is within a year, if the Parliament survives, without going for midterm polls. A special session should be convened and some of the points, some of the suggestions should be legislated upon, because there is no use of only resolving, no use of resolving. There should be will to reform also. There should be will to reform through legislative action. Therefore, I think there is a need for a special session to legislate the resolve to reform. And thirdly, the national agenda. Therefore, commission to look into the constitution and an alternative model of governments, and for a national agenda to go ahead with an alternative model of development, and a special session to legislate the resolve to reform. These three things, I feel, sir, these are the things you should consider, and I hope that India has the internal resilience, and we as the torchbearers of the Indian polity, we being the representatives of the highest legislative forum in the country, the parliament members, we should ingrain ourselves with the conduct to lead and capacity to change. Therefore, I want to conclude my speech with one saying of the Washington Irving. He said, act in the living present, heart within and God overhead. Not only that, even our Upanishads have said that no question of going back, no question of making the long freedom struggle a futile exercise, no question of last 50 years democratic experiment a futile exercise, but we should march forward with the slogan Charaivaiti, Charaivaiti. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Girish.